Chapter 126. Breaking the Record. The original Star Soul Codex slowly opened, and on the third page, 12 Star Soul patterns were flashing. Damn it! Is it still a First-Order Star Soul? Nye Tien couldn't help being a little disappointed when he saw the 12 Star Soul patterns and felt a star breath above the Star Soul. Originally, he had hoped that there would be a Second-Order Star Soul on this page, but to his disappointment, it was still a First-Order Star Soul. However, the First-Order Star Soul on this page is much more complicated than that on the second page, and the aura of the power of stars is also much stronger, which contains more mysterious and fine formation textures. Nye Tien glanced at all the Star Soul patterns and couldn't help shaking his head. He estimated that with his current strength, it would take 5 or 6 days to paint these Star Soul patterns, even the simplest ones. To portray a Star Soul, one can only use the power of the stars to portray it, and of course, a strong spiritual force is needed to support it. Nye Tien can now use much more star power than before, but it is not easy to describe the Star Soul on the third page. He took a look and found that the most complicated Star Soul on the third page was at least several times more complex and detailed than the Star Soul on the previous page, and the difficulty of depicting it was dozens of times higher. With his current strength, if he wanted to portray this kind of Star Soul, it takes at least a month. 1 month, it's too scary. I don't have that much time. Nye Tien shook his head and smiled bitterly, and finally fixed his gaze on the simplest Star Soul. The Star Soul that Nye Tien is concerned about is a phantom of armor called the Armor of the Flame Demon. There are not many complicated parts of this Star Soul, and the texture is still fine, which is not bad. Nye Tien smiled slightly but sighed. The biggest shortcoming is that the Armor of the Flame Demon seems to be a defensive Star Soul. I prefer active attacking Star Souls. Nye Tien made up his mind to draw the Armor of the Flame Demon first, and if there was still time, he would draw the rest of the Star Souls on the second page. The Star Soul on the second page is relatively simple. With Nye Tien's current ability, it is very easy to draw, and he should be able to draw one in a day. With the plan in mind, Nye Tien didn't waste any time and immediately threw himself into the characterization of the Star Soul. Nye Tien circulated the 10th Yuan Meridian, and the power of the stars was like a sharp blade, engraved stroke by stroke on the original chaotic coffin. With his previous experience, Nye Tien's characterization is much more proficient, but many details still require him to waste a lot of mental power and star power. The process of drawing a Star Soul is very cumbersome, and every strand of star power must be just right, neither too heavy nor too light. Fortunately, Nye Tien has a mental power far superior to that of ordinary people, otherwise, he would not be able to draw a single Star Soul, and could only look at the Star Soul and sigh. While Nye Tien was devoting himself to the portrayal of the Star Soul, something was happening outside the training room. After the first day passed, Jean DeBeo came out of the training room and found Nye Tien still in the training room. He was not surprised. Many people will practice for a long time when they enter the practice room, and they usually stay for 3 to 5 days before coming out. Jean DeBeo was not in the mood to practice because of the problem of the blood scroll Yuanling of the gods and demons, so he came out one day. Ever since he awakened the blood scroll of the gods and demons, his cultivation base has remained at the first level of Yuanling, so cultivation is not very attractive to him. Jean Mingxin asked all the alchemists in Blue Cloud City to heal Jean DeBeo, but no one could see why. Everyone said that Jean DeBeo's primordial spirit was fine, but the problem was that no matter how much Jean DeBeo practiced, his cultivation level didn't improve at all. Jean DeBeo resigned to his fate. In his life, his cultivation was fixed at the first level of Yuanling. 3 days later, Jean DeBeo came to the practice field again and found that Nye Tien still hadn't come out. At this time, the news that Nye Tien abolished Shang Mingjia's sword energy had spread throughout the Baiyun Academy. But what surprised Jean DeBeo was that Lan Binji didn't show up at the practice field, and even his practice room was robbed by Nye Tien, and he didn't react at all. Could it be that Prince Bingyi is scared? Willingly give up the practice room to the boss? Jean DeBeo wondered. However, he was more worried about Nye Tien at this time. He had already stayed in the training room for 4 days, and the gravity of the training room had increased to 40 times. 40 times gravity is not something ordinary people can bear. There was a barrier between the training room and the outside world. Jean DeBayo didn't know what happened to Nye Tien, so he could only worry. Jean DeBayo knew that Nye Tien's physique was far stronger than that of ordinary warriors, and it would be no problem to withstand 40 times the gravity, so he was not particularly worried. In a blink of an eye, another 3 days passed. Jean DeBayo came to the practice field again, already anxious like an ant on a hot pot. His fat face was swollen all over again. "It's been 7 days, why hasn't the boss come out?" Jean DeBayo was anxious, wishing to forcefully break the restriction of the training room, but unfortunately, he didn't have the strength. 7 days, that means the gravity of the practice room has increased to 70 times the terrifying one. 70 times the pressure of gravity, generally only warriors in the giant spirit realm can bear it. Jean Ming, how long is the Academy's longest practice record? Jean DeBayo suddenly asked Jean Ming beside him. Jean Ming's face was stiff for a long time. He swallowed hard and said, 7 days. So far, the longest practice record of Baiyun Academy is 7 days. And Nye Tien happened to have been in the training room for 7 days. 7 days. Jean DeBayo suddenly felt his head swell, and immediately asked, what is the strength of that person? Okay, it seems to be Wanxiang 9 layers. Jean Ming's tongue is no longer tactile. 9th level of Vientiane. Jean DeBayo gasped. He remembered that when Nye Tien entered the training room, his strength was only at the 5th level of Yuanling. There is a big difference of 1.5 from the longest record holder. Is something going to happen? Jean DeBayo's heart fluttered. In the past, there were cases where students died in the practice room. After all, there are very few training rooms. Some people are obsessed with training and want to challenge their limits, but they are crushed to death by the strong gravity of the training room. It can't be done. I have to go to Dean Chi quickly. Jean DeBayo didn't hesitate anymore and hurried to find Chi Fong. But Jean Ming grabbed him and said, Young Master Jean, Dean Chi is in retreat. You can't find him. Oops. Jean DeBayo suddenly remembered that Chi Fong just went to retreat to practice a few days ago, and he is not in the academy at this time. What should we do now? Jean DeBayo's forehead was covered with cold sweat, and his back felt chills. Ruoyu Qinya must not be found, and Chi Fong is retreating again. Only Fan Jinwu is left, and he will not help. Even if Jean DeBayo told Jean Mingxin about this matter, the latter would have nothing to do. After all, this was a matter of Baiyun Academy, and no matter how influential Jean Mingxin was, he couldn't intervene in the affairs of Baiyun Academy. Jean Xiao, let's continue to wait. Boss Nye Tien's strength is abnormal, and he will be fine. Jean Ming wiped his sweat and said in relief. We can only wait. Jean DeBayo sighed with helplessness. In the blink of an eye, another 2 days passed. Today is already the 10th day since Nye Tien entered the practice room. 10th day. The gravity of the training room has soared to an astonishing 100 times. Nye Tien broke the record for the longest practice in Baiyun Academy.